I want to thank the chairman and this committee for this hearing and also for the hearing that we're going to have on paper trails. You're absolutely right, Mr. Chairman, that we've had some issues in the past with paper trails. There is no panacea. However, though it doesn't mean that paper trails will make things perfect, obviously, and we've heard some of the possible problems without having a paper trail. Does anybody have any reason to not have paper trails? Can paper trails be worse if we have them? And I know there's an issue of cost. That's one question. And secondly, is, does anybody have any heartburn or some concerns about the possibility of some of either hardware or software companies being owned by foreign investors, including some who may not have a tradition of favoring the democratic process? And we've read a number of articles about that. Those are my two questions, and I'd like to kind of do them quickly so we can hopefully get some good answers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, on the foreign investors, because of the rigorous process that we're putting into place, they'll have to register. Each vendor or manufacturer will have to register the people that is involved with their organization, all of the top people. Those will be checked to see if there is anybody that has not been, that is put on record that they cannot do business in the United States. So that is public information. So we want to make this a more open process than what it has been in the past, because we do feel that the citizens need to be aware of all the issues. Anybody want to add anything to that?
Well, let me take a crack at some of this. As the vendor, it's difficult for me a lot of times to speak up, because I think the most important people at this table in a hierarchy are the Election Assistance Commission, and Commissioner Danetta Davidson has a stellar background, having been a local county election official, Secretary of State, now sitting on that commission, brings a depth and wealth of knowledge. And if you go down from the Honorable Mary Kiffmeyer and Linda Lamone, who has a reputation that excels and exceeds all of her colleagues, they can speak much better to this. As a vendor community, it's our responsibility and role to meet the standards that we have in front of us. We do not feel as a vendor community we should stand up and say we're for or against something. Our challenge and job is to enhance the voting process for all voters, maintain voter confidence by meeting the standards that are out there that the ITAs test to. As far as the ownership component of it, I think if you have good standards and you have a good testing process and the decisions are made through an RFP process at state and county level, it should be for them to determine that. As a company, I'm based in Omaha, Nebraska. I am a U.S.-based company, but I also want to do business globally in other parts of the world. And my fear is that if I become a constraint to others coming in and doing business here and don't allow it, the same is going to happen to me. So there is a balance that has to be struck, and I think that's through the testing, the certification, the request for proposal, and that evaluation process, and then people like Mary Kiffmeyer, who will go through a process that is very rigorous in determining who they're going to buy from.
As to your, I guess your first question.
Is your microphone on?
I think so, yes. We commissioned a study, the state of Maryland did with the University of Maryland of Baltimore County, to look at the various verification technologies available or in prototype, and including the paper trail. And the conclusion of the multiple disciplinarian team was that none of them are ready for prime time, including the paper trail. And I'll be happy to leave a copy of the study with the committee. It's on our website. It's on the university's website. But I think they did a very thorough job and provided some very valuable information. We had it done for the policymakers of the state of Maryland.
And I would also like to make a statement this time that it's really about the voters and their confidence in the systems, because we as a system act on their behalf. And I think it's very important in making decisions that it is the citizens and the voters and their sense, not only on Election Day, but after Election Day in a close recount, that they have confidence.